So that shiny new game just came out, S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chernobyl, and you want to know if it's worth your time, right? Well, let's take a look at the game first and first impressions. Keep in mind this is not a full review, this is a quick look at the game. I played the game for about 5.5 hours, so I'll show some footage of the game while describing it and giving a few thoughts on it. I played with a 3080 Ti at 1440p, all settings on Ultra, and DLSS on Quality. I also had FSR frame generation on. My FPS was around 110 to 130. If I were to use DLSS on Quality without frame gen, I'd get around 60-70ish FPS. I haven't played the first S.T.A.L.K.E.R game, so I don't know how this game's story correlates to that one or if it does at all. There's 3 difficulties in this game: Rookie, Stalker, and Veteran. I played on the middle one, Stalker, which is balanced between story and combat. Here's how this game begins. A building is burning, which I believe is a main character's apartment, and there's a glowing blue artifact just sitting there. He grabs it and the screen goes black. Now it's a different scene. Your character, named Skiff, is with another guy who seems like a scientist. He has a metal canister and he puts that artifact that your character found into it. You then have to carry it to a bunker so that a different person can explain how to proceed with a scanner. After the scene ends, you can now freely move around. You can walk, run, jump, crouch, and lean left and right. You also start off with a pistol and a flashlight. Now, to explain what other items you have, I might as well explain looting in general. When looting, you'll find other items just sitting there in the open or in bags, boxes, or destroyable boxes. You can also loot almost every single person that you kill. However, I haven't been able to loot any creatures or monsters, and I've killed several of those. The items that you'll be able to loot the most often are food items, which gives health items, which give more health or lowers radiation, and various kinds of drinks. You'll also be able to loot weapons, weapon attachments, and artifacts. You'll start off with some health items also, and you'll be able to loot a body pretty quickly to get another gun. Most of the drinks in this game replenish your stamina or lowers radiation. The red bar on the bottom left is your health, and the blue bar is your stamina. The radiation symbol indicates how much radiation that you are getting. If it's too high, you'll start to lose health, and I made sure to always keep it at or near empty. There's a weapon wheel, but I didn't really use that. I mostly just scrolled up or down on my mouse wheel to switch weapons. You do have an inventory, and you have a weight limit as well. I found that if you're closer to the weight limit, you'll move much slower. If you're more light, you'll move much faster. In your inventory, you have a slot for mask, suit, secondary weapons like handguns, 2 main weapon slots, 4 quick access slots for your radiation and health items, a slot next to your pistol that usually holds a scanner to detect anomalies and more artifacts, and then you have slots for artifacts that you do find. I started off with 1 artifact slot unlocked, and I have no idea how to unlock more, but later in the game I saw I had 2 unlocked. The artifacts do enhance you as well, though it's kind of minor enhancements, like a little bit more carry weight or a little bit more radiation resistance, for example. The anomalies in the world are dangerous. Some are electrical balls, some are small hidden tornadoes, some are just translucent bubbles, and I've seen some that float around and look like actual bubbles too, and you can pop those. That's kind of fun. But if you walk into any of them or too close to them, they'll damage you, usually around half to 3/4 of your health most times. You can disrupt them by throwing bolts at them, which will make them temporarily disappear, and that's your moment to run across the area it was before it respawns. In addition to anomalies, there are storms. I forgot the name of the storms exactly, but they are pretty deadly. The sky will change color, radiation will go way up, and there's things like lightning that can kill you. Whenever the storms happen, you'll want to head inside ASAP. After 5 hours of playing, the enemies I fought about 85% of the time were other humans. They have crazy good aim and will rarely miss you. The creatures in this game I fought much less frequently, but they're still there. They look a little worse in quality compared to the AIs in the game, but it's not too bad. I fought I think 4 different creatures so far. The bigger 4-legged ones, those are either alone or in small packs. There's dogs that are usually in a pack. Then there's these smaller creatures. Those are in pretty big packs and are highly annoying. And then the last creature I fought so far, or monster, or whatever it is a big monster that walks on 2 legs and turns invisible. Out of all the enemies that I've fought though, humans are the hardest, and the small animals that are in the big packs are the next hardest. I'm sure I'll come across much harder enemies later in the game, but so far, these are the hardest enemies to fight, at least in my opinion. I spent a whole lot of time just walking around and running in this game, like a whole lot. There's no vehicles in this game, at least so far there isn't, and the map is pretty big. You'll be running across the landscape a lot, and there isn't quick travel or teleportation either. It can be a lot worse if you're carrying a lot of items, as your stamina will run out faster, and stamina is a little slow to recharge. I also spent a lot of time looting or looking into buildings. There's no levels or XP in this game. What you can do is upgrade your weapons and armor at a technician using money. I actually didn't didn't find that out for a very long time, like right before I got off, honestly. The upgrades can add damage or have less recoil, less bullet spread, more bullet velocity, and so on. I should have figured out how to do this sooner, honestly, as it made my weapons feel much better to use. In addition to the technician, there's a few other people that you can buy and sell items at, like weapons, ammo, health, and so on. I've pretty much seen some at every settlement that I've been to. Oh, and I want to talk about fall damage. This game has it, and I think it's too aggressive. I walked off a few ledges that I thought weren't too high up. I knew I'd lose health, but I'd be okay with that, but no, I just straight up died. I did that like 4 or 5 times, and each time I was surprised that the fall killed me. The other times I died were from other humans, the AIs with their crazy accurate guns. Also, I feel like AIs are a little bit of a bullet sponge too, unless you get a clean headshot or shoot them up close with a shotgun. Also, your weapons have durability. The higher the durability, the better the gun functions. If it's lower, then your weapon will start jamming up. That actually took me a little while to connect those dots. I was getting real annoyed with my weapons jamming up so much, but your weapons can be repaired at a technician, the same place that you upgrade them. Anyways, back to the very beginning mission for a moment. I looted a while and I got to that bunker eventually, but the guy was dead. I was then told to set up the canister at different locations to start scanning, so I did that, but on the third location, stuff happened. Soldiers appeared and started investigating, and then right before my character fought them, someone else did. My character escaped with the canister, but was caught. They took the canister, knocked my character unconscious, and then took all the items in my inventory except for the starting pistol, so it seems all of the time I spent looting beforehand was wasted up until that point. Luckily, that was only about 40-ish minutes into the game. I won't go over the details of the story past that point, but what I did was several main missions and a few side missions for random people. Most of my time in this game I spent exploring different areas as I made my way to the mission area, or fighting AIs. Both of those are time consuming, but I found it enjoyable. I like the atmosphere of this game, so I wasn't bothered by the long distances. No mission so far has really stood out as being really amazing though, other than maybe an attack on a rebel base. It was a lot of rebels versus me and a lot of AIs that I was fighting with. That was kinda neat. I like the openness of this game, the way everything looks, the atmosphere it gives as you play, the world and game as a whole really. The storms, anomalies, artifacts, enemies, it's all enjoyable for me to play, and I haven't even experienced that much of it yet. If I look on the map, there's a lot of zones that I can see, and I've only spent my time in a couple of them. I haven't even fully explored the ones that I've been in either. I still have a lot more game to experience, and that's awesome. I can't wait to get back into this game, though that's my personal opinion. Whether or not this is your type of game, I'll see you on the next one.